Welcome back to Daily Flash. You know, human trafficking, it's also known as modern slavery. It's actually at its highest rate it's ever been in history. And our next guests right now are on a mission to end human trafficking with their nonprofit organization. They've been able to be a safe haven for victims. We want to welcome you to the show, Carl and Tina Kadolph. And Carl and Tina, first off, tell us the name of your organization. What exactly is your prime mission?
Our organization is called Love Missions. And we are fighting human trafficking through education and awareness, as well as safe houses and life centers.
How big of a problem is human trafficking today? I mean, we hear about it, but we don't necessarily see it all that much because it's something that the very nature of what it is everything's hidden. How big of a problem is it?
It's huge. Today, you know, it's always been a problem all throughout history, really. But today, because of internet, our phones, our cell phones and apps, it's just exploded. Yeah. So we are doing our best to try and make a difference in that. But yes, it's a huge billion. They say 32 to 100 billion people are enslaved. It's like a huge range because obviously what you said is true. It's in darkness.
Well, I have to make mention of this because I find it that you took something bad and you're turning it into good. You actually know firsthand experience about human trafficking. Would you mind sharing with us as an encapsulated summary of your story behind this?
Yes, I was trafficked at the age of 4 by my mom, and it took a long time before I would share my story. I had to go through counseling, and the trauma of that just took me a long time to be able to use it for good. But today, that's the passion behind the work that we're doing, is because I know what it feels like to have no hope, to think that you won't be alive when you're an adult, to be stuck in that darkness. And today I want to make a difference for others.
Wow. Well, I just, you know, I'm amazed that you're turning something good out of this. And it's interesting. Generally, when we think of human trafficking, we kind of we think of like from Mexico or from Asia, and then they're put into these like massage parlors and that sort of thing. That's not always the MO, though, right? I mean, how else is human trafficking continuing to be such a huge problem? Like, what are they doing now?
So today, traffickers and predators use social media. That is their huge platform today. So because of our cell phones, we have them everywhere we go. And for children, we know people whose children at the age of 5 have their own cell phone. Yeah. And when you're giving a child the internet, they're able to be contacted anywhere in the world through social media. So apps, those type of things are the biggest way right now that traffickers are luring in our children.
Okay. Carl, I want to ask you, the worldwide pandemic is in quarantine. Kids are obviously doing school through distance learning. Is this really a time that parents really should start worrying about that possibility of somebody targeting their children?
Absolutely. This is a time like no other time as far as children being on the internet, and with the internet being a huge lure, whether it's through gaming or just social media, whatever the case may be, it's such an easy way for a predator to make contact. We spoke with a FBI agent at one time a couple of years ago, and he made the statement that if your child is on social media, there's 100% chance that they have been contacted by a predator. Now, that doesn't mean anything happened. It doesn't mean that contact continued, but there's 100% chance that reach out happened.
Wow. Yeah, God, I mean, that is extremely, I mean, it's scary that it happens. So what do we need to do to protect our children? What's something that we need to keep our eyes open for, either one of you?
Well, I'll start, and I'll just say, just parents, love your children enough to keep an eye on what they're doing. Everybody wants to give their children privacy, and we understand that, but the bottom line is no 4, 5, 6, 7, 10-year-old child needs to have a password protected cell phone where their parents can't go in and see what they're looking at, or see what they're doing, or see who's attacking them.
Well, I could say this. My youngest is 20, and I pay her cell phone bill, and she knows that, and she knows that I have the password. As long as I'm paying for it and she's an adult, I need to know. What's something, Tina, that we should look for, maybe emotionally, or maybe how our children's acting, that maybe you realized you had done because that you had to go through this, or maybe something's happened to them? What's some things, some flags that we need to keep our eyes open to?
Well, always, like, these are things we've learned in children's behavior, but when you see a drastic change, maybe they're hanging out with a new group of kids, they're tired, drugs or alcohol all of a sudden become in their life, they are dressing different because traffickers will buy them new cell phones, they'll get their nails done, they'll do things that maybe they weren't doing before, and all of a sudden they're doing that. Any of those kind of things that you see your child, there's a change in their habits, that needs to be a flag, and you need to pay attention to what they're doing online. For example, TikTok is a app that children are highly using right now, and it's been banned by our military. It's it is made in China, and they have no privacy settings for it. So not only can China take the information from the phone, but they're also makes them very susceptible to trafficking.
We don't have much time. I need to let our viewers know, where can they go to get more information and get more involved?
Lovemissions.net.
Okay.
I want to thank
both of you for what you're doing. I think you hit it right on the head. Is just staying involved.
Yeah.
We have got to protect our kids, and I want to thank both of you for doing your part, and Tina, from taking something bad and turning it into something good, which is protecting our kids. Carl, you got a good woman there. Congratulations on your success so far, and we'll make sure that we put more information on our website so folks can get this information at dailyflashshow.com. We'll be back right after.
Thank you so much.